Modern climbing gear has come a long way since the beginning of climbing, mostly developments in order to make the sport more safe and more comfortable. To start, we have our Black Diamond harness. It is padded and it goes around both your waist and both your legs. When you tie into the harness, you go through 2 hard points on the harness so that if one breaks, you will still have the other one, and you'll be able to be lowered to the ground safely. Additionally, it also has a belay loop, which is one of the strongest points on the harness, so that you can hold someone else up on the rope. Next we have a Black Diamond dynamic rope. So this is your climbing rope, and it is what takes you up a rock face. It stretches upon impact, so when you fall, the stretch will absorb the energy of the fall rather than yourself. It is rated for 8 kilonewtons, which is about 1,798 pounds of force, so it can definitely hold you up. This is a Sterling static rope, which means that upon impact it doesn't stretch. It's used for setting anchors, so essentially it would be tied around 2 strong trees, and then this rope would be secured to this. This is not for holding a person up because it won't stretch if they fall. This is 1-inch tubular webbing. Oh wait, I forgot to tell you how much this can, I can cut this part out.
Yeah. Also, like, the dynamic isn't secured to the static. It's held through a carabiner.
Ben, we're explaining how much weight they can hold.
Yeah.
It's secured to the static in a way.
In a way. Just want to make sure they don't think it's
Are you still recording this? No, they don't care. No one cares.
Jeez, okay.
Okay. The static rope can hold about 40 kilonewtons of force, which is somewhere around 9,000 pounds. In place of it, you could also use 1-inch tubular webbing. This webbing can hold 4,000 pounds, so a little bit less, but still enough to hold up any reasonably sized, less than 4,000 pound person. Next we have quick draws, which would be used in sport climbing to secure yourself to a bolt in the rock. These are Petzl quick draws, and if they're used properly, pulling this way, they can hold 23 kilonewtons. But even if you use them improperly and pulled this way on them, they could still hold 8 kilonewtons, which is still 4,000 pounds. So even if you use them wrong, you've got 4,000 pounds. These are also quick draws. They can hold just about the same amount of weight, actually a little bit more. So it doesn't really depend on size. This is put in a structure called like a dog bone, which means that it's folded over 3 times. There are conspiracy theories that you don't actually need the dog bone and that you could use something homemade, and that manufacturers are just lying to us to get us to buy their products. I don't believe that conspiracy theory. I'd rather be safe than make my own equipment, but you know, that's just me. We also have auto-locking carabiners, so when you let go, they just automatically lock. You don't have to screw them or anything. These can hold also, how much can they hold? 7 kilonewtons, so about 1,500 pounds. And they'd be used to connect these ropes or connect yourself to a belay device. Speaking of belay devices, this is a Gravel belay device. So it has little teeth inside of the device to create friction on the rope, so that if you're belaying someone, you wouldn't have to hold them up. The belay device takes a lot of the pressure off of you. Climbing shoes have a rubber bottom, which will essentially like create friction or stick to the rock in a way, and then they have a really slim toe to get into little cracks in the rock. New helmets are made with both styrofoam and plastic to protect you from either falling rocks or ice, or to protect you upon impact with rocks if you fell or if you swung across the road. Old helmets used to only have either styrofoam or plastic, and they were each good for different purposes. I don't know why it took them so long to figure out that they could just put both in a helmet. This one's adjustable, so it can fit right to your head and it won't come off. Lastly, we have chalk, which essentially when your hands get sweaty, you start to slip off of holes or off of the rock. And you just put this on your hands to dry the sweat. This is like a powdered chalk, and then we also have a liquid chalk. And that's about it. There are different types of climbing which require different types of tools, but these are your essentials for any top rope or sport climbing, and they're going to keep you safe.